I'm sure Hitler loved his wife.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Brown Queens. I'm Neha.
And I am Joty K. How are you guys? How are you, Neha?
I'm
like awkwardly sitting here right now.
okay. I mean,
We could be better.
I could be better. I got heartbroken. If you were asking me last week, I'd be like, oh,
I know.
but I got heartbroken again.
By the same person?
By the same so I didn't really tell anybody, but
there's probably a reasoning for that too. Were you embarrassed?
Yeah, I know. No, I think I just wanted to see if it would actually go anywhere this time.
How long would you say that you were seeing if it would go along? Because we've done this podcast a few times and I know you were talking.
Okay, so my ex, as I would call him, like from my situationship years ago. Yeah, came back into my life. And I don't know, like I was like very hesitant about letting him back in, but I did. And I thought it would just be
always do.
As we always do. And I thought he was just like working on himself and this like better guy. And nice. And like he was like, he read this book I gave him and like we were reconnecting. And at the end of the day, I just like, he was my best friend, right? So it's like, I missed my friend. I like missed him,
Of course.
So it's just like, I really loved having him back in my life. And I slowly was just like letting all my boundaries go, which was probably my first mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And I like trusted him. Yeah.
That's what
and I had like one stipulation, which was like him not talking to his ex.
Which is so understandable.
Understandable. And like, he did. And he got caught and like, I don't know. It was such a long story. I know. I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody.
So basically, girls have intuition and gut instincts. And like Saturday, he called me in the morning. He calls me like in the mornings and nights or whatever. And he's like getting ready to go somewhere on his off day. And I'm like, oh, where are you going? And he's like, oh, what? Can't get ready to run errands. And I didn't think anything of it.
They were on FaceTime, you guys.
Phone call. Yeah.
Oh no, phone call.
Yeah. And like, he's just like ironing his shirt, whatever. And he's like, oh, I can't do this just to like go to the grogrocery store, which is just like such a sociopathic thing to say now looking back.
And also it's like, yeah, that is weird. Why would you iron your shirt to go to the grocery store? Unless you're going somewhere afterwards.
I don't know. Looking back, it was just like, all like, why would you say that to me? Why would you sleep with me 6 hours before? Like, how could you feel no guilt?
Narcissist.
But so I have this like gut instinct that something was up and I'm like, this is so weird. Yeah. Like, I was like texting him, snapping him, whatever during the day and he wasn't being responsive and it just like fell off.
You had a feeling then.
Yeah. It was like, I had like this pit in my stomach. Then 2 hours later, while I'm with my friend at like the Palestine protest, I get texted this picture from my friend that works at a restaurant of him with his ex having drinks or eating lunch or whatever they were doing. Mm-hmm. And like, my heart just sank. I was like crying and I was just like, we weren't officially together. And it's like that, the new, what is it called?
What?
Have you listened to any of Olivia Rodrigo's album? It's basically the story of my life where she's like, you didn't cheat, but you still betrayed, like you're still a traitor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because it's like, he lied to me and he called me crazy, said he wasn't in contact with his ex and like,
well, he projected onto you like, oh, you're just crazy, but he got caught. He's just mad he got caught. He was trying to have his cake, which makes it worse. And he liked his ex's picture a few days prior to that, no?
Yeah, and said it was nothing and like I was crazy.
He was just being supportive of her bikini picture.
Yeah, looking back, there were a lot of red flags.
A lot of red flags.
But it's just like, man, that's not even the part that hurts me. You know how they say it's not the actual thing he did? What's so crazy is I so much unconditionally love this guy. Aww. That if he had probably told me like, oh, I'm, I don't know if my feelings are worked out with this girl or I need closure or whatever, I probably would have like let him go do what he needed to do. Because I'm like a spiritual person in life that I feel like you need to work out things on your own and it's your journey or whatever. Yeah. I probably would have been like, okay, if that's what you feel, like, let's back off. Like, you go figure out if you like this girl or not.
You're so sweet.
But he like lied to me and betrayed me and like had slept with me like 5 hours before. And the part that hurts the most is like not even like the romantic part, but it's like, dude, you were like my best friend and I loved you so much. Like, how could you?
Oh,
I don't mean to cry, but
Aw.
it's just like, how could you hurt somebody that you love like that and feel no guilt or anything,
Yeah.
you know?
Sometimes we don't have the answers for that. You know what I mean? What, and then like your tears should say it all. Like he's not a good person. You know what I mean? Even though, like, I mean, is a good person in other aspects, but when it comes to relationship, he is not. You know. And as you said, like he probably he knows that you would have been cool about that. So at the end, it
See, and that's the worst part too. It's like when people love you so hard, it's really shitty when instead of being like, wow, this girl goes so hard for me. She loves me so much. Like, let me appreciate that. But instead, he's just like, let me take advantage of
advantage
that.
of that. Yeah.
Let me use that. Let me like lie to her. Let me like do things in secret, you know?
No, that's a him problem. You know what I mean? That's something that he needs to work out with. He needs therapy. I
Oh,
think,
for sure. He needs
yeah,
therapy.
I think it's
He's just like, and see, that's why I'm like, I'm trying to forgive him, not for him, for me,
for yourself.
because I don't want to hold on to like any hate in my heart or anything. And I
Yeah,
did have so much love for this guy.
yeah, I know.
And I'm just like, so I'm trying to be like, you know what? You're just like a lost soul. Like you
Yeah,
are a lost
he
soul
is a lost soul.
and you don't know how to like do right and wrong or like navigate being a good human.
Yeah, no, I mean, he is a lost soul. I mean, I think he has a lot to work on himself, and that's not a you problem. That's a him problem. For you, you need to know that you're capable of being loved. You're a lovable person, and somebody, all the things that you want from him that he's not giving you or didn't give you, you
Yeah.
can get from someone else.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's the thing. Like you can get that elsewhere. It's just that when we don't get it from the person that we want it from, it's, you know, it hurts, and it does. And especially if you put so much energy and time and effort and love, like it's disappointing, you know, and it's easier said than done for me to be like, get over it, girl, because it's not that easy. I've been heartbroken, you
Yeah.
know, before. It takes time, but once you realize your worth and you just turn all that anger into like you're saying, like, you know what, you're a lost soul. Good luck. You know, once you do that, you'll feel so much better.
Yeah. And it's just like, you know, that quote, you can't love somebody into loving you.
Yeah.
That is like 100%. That hit me so hard because it's like the way that I love this kid. You know, one time we were on the phone and like he was like craving shrimp tacos and like they didn't have it at two places he went. And like while he was driving back to work, I had like postmated him shrimp tacos like all the way from like
Aww.
35 fucking dollars for like two shrimp tacos, but like I wanted to like give it to him because he was having a bad day and craving it. Like I fasted with him. I
She
I
fasted with
tried
him
to
for Ramadan, you guys. I
I
cannot.
tried to be like
Ouch.
I tried to like and the worst part is like when this guy came into my life, he was broken, like crying, like you know, just like
Yeah.
not in a good place in life. And another quote is like, you know how they say like guys go to girls to like have them heal them and then like leave when
Mhm.
they're done healing. Like
Yeah.
I truly feel like he used me as like his therapist or to like heal him and love him. And then once I did, he's like, let me go back to the toxic relationship I was in.
Yeah.
Let me
That
go
could be
back to
it.
the shit that put me in the depression in the first place after you fixed me.
Yeah. Well, one, you don't have to fix anyone, even though you know, did it
I
willingly.
was just like loving him,
Yeah,
like, or like,
exactly.
you
Yeah.
know, being a friend to him, being a best friend, like talking to him every day on the phone and like,
And he
you
took
know,
advantage of that. Yeah,
yeah.
he really did. It sucks. It sucks. You got like there's no explanation for it except that like he's not ready to be loved by somebody like you know what I mean? And
I don't think he's ready to be loved at all. I think he's
yeah.
like, I think when somebody is like super, like, doesn't know how to love themselves or be alone,
Mhm.
they don't know how to like take love from people or give love. And I think that's
Mhm.
why he always goes to things that are broken is because he doesn't know what like real love is or how to give love or receive
Maybe,
love. But
but that's
whatever.
not your job
Yeah,
to
you're
figure
right.
out. But as he like I feel like you did more nice things for him than he did for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that
I
should have
mean,
been your red
and
flag
that should have been,
anyways.
yeah, that probably this probably happened to me for me to learn like I need to demand better from people around
Yeah,
me.
I remember telling you that. I'm like, you need to say this. You're like, should I? I remember Valentine's Day. You're like, should I say something? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, when we love someone, we don't want to like. I'm sure you didn't want to like jeopardize something or fight with him because you love him, but at least you found out sooner than later.
Yeah.
Sooner than later. Because what if you, I don't know. I always think the extreme, like what if you were pregnant or married or blah, 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 this and that. And then you found your friend sent you a picture with him with this ex, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at least now you are going to be able to have a hot girl summer.
Yes.
And now you can just completely let go.
And I know you guys have heard me on this podcast go back and forth like a million times. And I think I finally, hopefully, have learned that people don't change.
Yeah.
Unless
Some people, but very rare.
Unless they were like unless he like goes to therapy and like transforms his entire life, which probably won't happen.
Probably not.
But unless you go to therapy, I don't believe people. I guess therapy is the exception for me.
I'm sure he cared about you and all that stuff, but not, I mean, the fact that when you found out, his automatic reaction was instead of like
saying
sorry or saying I like, or not begging, but like, being like, hey, I fucked up, I'm sorry for hurting you. It was to be like, oh, you're crazy. Like that should be a lot for you to know.
That's a red flag as a human being.
Yeah, but there's a lot of red flags though, you guys. Not to rub it in, but when you love somebody though, you really just make excuses for them.
Yeah.
As like, you're like, oh, maybe this, maybe that. And it's like, but they're not making excuses for you. Like, why wasn't he trying to be better to you after being so mean to you?
Yeah.
So, and then he was still ended up being mean, but I don't know. I know we were actually before this, we were having a talk. She was saying, well, he had good qualities to him. And I'm like, Bin Laden probably had good qualities to him too. I'm sure he was a great father. I'm sure he was a great cousin to somebody, you know what I mean? But Bin Laden was Bin Laden. Hitler.
I'm sure Hitler loved his wife.
He loved his wife very much, hated Jews, but loved his wife. Like, it's just everyone has it doesn't
excuse your actions.
It doesn't excuse your actions. No, but I'm sad that you're going through this because you're so sweet. And like, I know that you have such a good heart and you're so forgiving, but
I know I'll get through it. I'm just really trying to use this as like a learning experience and to level up even more. Like I'm reading this book. Okay. So the book on grief that I gave you?
Yes.
It does start very dense. And so it's very hard to start. The first few chapters are boring. Yeah. I like tried starting it so many times when I gave it to you and I'm like,
that's where I'm at.
But after I got my heart broken in those first 3 days, guys, I was just like in tears,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to get through this book. I'm going to absorb this book. I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to reach a new level of spirituality. I'm going to level up on every aspect.
Sign, though.
Yeah. So I'm 75% through the book. Yay. I'm on like chapter 19 out of 22.
Aww.
And let me tell you, this book is fucking amazing, Joty. It gets so good.
Okay, then I need to finish it.
Yeah, like the way he talks about grief and how, so basically in the book.
Can I just skip a few chapters and get to the good part? Like,
yeah.
Okay, what's the good part?
I'm going to look at my book and tell you whenever I start highlighting, I'm like, ooh, this is good. That's the chapter I'll tell you.
It was a little hard to get into.
The first 2 chapters were like, what is this? But then it gets really good.
Okay.
So basically he talks about like the way that he put grief was, he was just saying like, like sadness and happiness, grief and joy, like these like juxtapositions in life, they're literally, that's what being human is. Like, that's why we're here on earth, to experience like both of those things.
Yeah.
But like as humans, we like so inherently like want to run from the imperfect emotions to just like, we just want to be happy and like, but that's never going to happen. He's like, the key to mastering life is learning how to sit with those feelings of like sadness and grief or whatever. And he's like, and the wonderful thing is like, once you master how to sit with those emotions, they actually evaporate. Like they don't affect you as much. And instead of like running from them, you learn to be like, you look at your reactions to them. Like, am I kinder or meaner because of this thing? Am I like angrier and cynical, or am I like, do I want to change the world more? Or am I like, like you start to like evaluate yourself and like you learn how to handle the good and bad in life. And he was like, and that's what the human experience is. Like, that's what being awake on this earth is, or else you'd be dead if you just experience one. But that was just like one part of it. Like there were so many gems in that book, and it just made me feel so much better. And I was like, you know what? This is just something that happens in life, and it sucks that it happened to me, but I'm going to get through it and become better and hopefully find a great guy.
And well, that also shows like your journey and like how you what you're doing is so healthy. Like for me, when I had my last heartbreak, which has been a minute, I was more like, I'm gonna go out all the time and drink and get fucked up. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like more of that kind of center. I'm gonna talk to multiple dudes because I have it like that. Like, but then
Yeah.
that didn't fulfill anything. So you're already taking a healthier approach to this. So that's like one, a really good sign.
I'm still gonna go out and have a hot girl summer,
No,
but
you should.
both I'm
Both
balanced.
balance. No, there's a balance. There's a destructive way of doing it, and then there's a
Yeah.
constructive way. And then you're doing it the constructive way, and you better have a hot girl summer. And there's gonna be times where you're gonna be really sad, and you're gonna compare every guy to him. My friend was actually doing this past week. We were trying to introduce her to a guy, and any little thing he would do, she was pick at it just because she wants it to be the other guy. And we
Yeah.
knew that, you know what I mean? And it was just like, oh, he doesn't do this. Oh, he doesn't do that. And I'm like, give him a chance,
Yeah.
And then at the end, she ran back to the other guy, but whatever. But you're not gonna do that.
No, I'm not going to do that because like I do know what I deserve and the truth is no one is worth that shit.
No one's worth
Like
that.
I don't care how like funny or charming or whatever you are, when you can't love somebody properly, nothing is worth that. And the truth is like finding somebody that treats you right is just better than anything. Like that overpowers anything else. And like once you feel that, like you realize that.
Yeah.
And he was my best friend. Like I truly have nothing but love for him. And it's unfortunate that he is okay with treating me a certain way. I don't know why I'm getting teary again. But like
hurtful.
yeah,
I
it was super
understand.
hurtful. So like obviously like I loved so much about him, but I also know what I deserve. And I am the full fucking package. So it's like
You are the
unfortunate.
fucking package.
I'm the full package. And it's like you're such an idiot to not realize it.
Exactly.
But that's your problem. I feel like you just didn't realize it because you don't love yourself. And so like when you have a blessing in front of you, you don't see it.
Yeah,
But
you don't because you're blinded by all the wrong things in life. But
yeah, you're chasing the wrong thing.
you're chasing the wrong things. But I mean, don't make me sad. Stop. Get emotional.
I haven't cried in days and I'm never cried. This is the last time I'm crying over him.
No,
But
it's okay. You have to let it out. But once you get past this, the things that you're saying, you're actually gonna believe them. Like right now, you know this.
yeah, I do.
But it's still like you're still trying to bargain.
Oh my God. And I'm starting therapy this week, guys.
That's gonna help her a lot. Therapy, you guys.
I'm ready. I'm ready to unravel everything. I'm like gonna get into it. I'm gonna be like, listen, I lost my dad at this age. What does this mean for my relationships? Why am I like this?
You know what? I didn't even I forget that maybe that has something to do with
definitely it does. Because I have a lot of trouble like letting go of people because I feel like I experienced so much trauma like letting go of my dad. So when I find somebody that I love, I've always had trouble like letting them go.
Maybe that's what I'm going through. You know what I mean? Like now that you're saying that, because I feel like that's why I'm like, no, you know what I mean? We'll work it out.
Yeah, because you experience a certain level of PTSD when you had to like let go of somebody you love in such a traumatic way that it is a traumatizing experience after that to have to let go of anybody you love.
Yeah, that's true. I'm all thinking, I'm like, I'm going through this right now.
I'm like that with my friends too. Like I just like it's so much trauma of me to let go of people I love. Yeah. And especially like somebody like this guy that I loved so much unconditionally, So I like it's hard for me to let go of him.
Well, I'm glad you're doing therapy. That's really, really going to help you. It is going to take time, especially because so much shit is in our lives. You know what I mean? But I try my best. I'm more cognitive of what I do now. Yeah. I mean, it is still really hard for me to change my habits a little bit, but it's definitely nice to talk to somebody who's unbiased.
Yes, for sure.
Because obviously, like me or your friends are going to be like, fuck this guy. Yeah. He's a piece of shit. But like, she's going to say it in a very scientific way. Yeah. You know what I mean? And make it seem like it sounds like, it makes sense. And to show you that, you're not wrong and you're not wrong. And, help you get through it. So I'm glad you're going to get therapy. And everybody else out there should get therapy.
And just so you guys know, being a good person is hard. Like it's
Yeah.
easy to be a shitty fucking person.
Really easy.
And that's, I'm sure he was making some steps and then he took like 3 steps back by making a series of bad decisions. But the thing is, like, that's who we are. Like the decisions we make every day do determine like if you're a good person or not. So it's just like, it doesn't matter if you think you're a good person if your actions aren't like consistently aligned with that.
Exactly. Yeah, he has a lot of work to do, but again, that's not your problem.
Yes.
And he's in the past, and you're gonna get through this. And
Yes, I'm already so much better. I mean, I'm talking about it right now, so it's bringing up a lot of stuff, but like I'm going to be okay. Like I'm doing all the work, I'm putting in all the work. I know how amazing I am, and I know that I'm going to find a guy that loves me the way I deserve.
Exactly. And who's going to do all
appreciate the beautiful things I do, like send you shrimp tacos when you're craving them, or like fast with you, or like just like do cute things to show you you're loved.
Yeah, that stuff matters. Now that I'm like super mad at my guy, I'm not trying to take the thing off of
go
you,
ahead.
but I was thinking about the little things. He does do little things. But then I think of and I'm like, wow, I really don't appreciate
don't let me convince you one way or the other.
No, I mean, I'm different situation, you guys. I just got drunk for the first time with my man, and it was horrific. It's funny because I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but Neha had asked me like, hey, have you gotten drunk since your dad's passing? And I'm like, I've drank, but I haven't gotten drunk. You know? And I don't know, I just really wanted to get drunk this day. Like my friend was with me, she was third wheeling, and I'm glad she was there because she got to tell me like at least I can believe what she's saying, But she told me that I just got like, I turned into an angry drunk. Like I was super mean to my boyfriend. I was yelling, screaming, and like just like, and the crazy thing is, you guys, all I remember is sitting in a chair talking to like somebody. That's all I remember. And I remember waking up at 4 a.m. and he wasn't sleeping next to me. My friend wasn't there. And it was like a fucking murder scene or something.
Yeah.
I came in my room, I come to the kitchen, and like the coat rack is broken because I guess I fucking threw it on the floor.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then like the photos on the wall are on the floor. Thankfully, none of them my dad's, but it was just like what
a storm.
Yeah, a storm. There's like his shoes are all everywhere. Speaking of his shoes, they're right there. Like I was just like, what the fuck? And I look at my cell phone, and he had sent, I think he knew that I wasn't going to remember.
Yeah.
And he basically summarized everything that happened and told me that like, you need to like get your shit together, and like, we're not together anymore. And I call him, and he's furious, right?
Yeah.
And he's staying in a hotel. And then I feel bad because I'm like, why are you staying in a hotel? I have my own place. And I guess like the neighbors heard me yelling and screaming. Like basically my friend told me that she's never in like the time of amount that we've been friends ever seen me like that. And I've gotten drunk, shit-faced, fucking throwing up with her.
Yeah.
And she's like, that she's seen me like maybe get an argument with somebody, but that's about it. Like she's never seen me that way. So she was like, instead of getting mad at me because she is the bestest friend ever, she actually started thinking about like, damn, like what the hell are you going through for you to be that way?
Oh my God. I was listening to this Jay Shetty podcast. Guys, if I talk about Jay Shetty every pod, I'm so sorry. I've been like, I'm on my spirituality tip right now because it's getting me through it. It's my drug right now.
All I watch.
But Oprah said this quote that you would love. She was like, because she was talking about dealing with little girls though, who have been through trauma. Mm-hmm. And she's like, the aha moment is not to ask why are they, or what'd she say? She was like, not to ask like why you did, not to ask like, why are you like that? But more so like, what made you like this? Like what caused you like to be like, did you go through? Yes, exactly. Because it's not like what you're doing. It's like the things you have been through that have caused you to be like this, you know? Well, and obviously you're dealing with trauma.
Of course. And that's kind of like going back to like my dad's situation, that I got mad at him for drinking again. I never sat there and was like, damn, Dad, you must be going through some shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, Dad, you must be really, your demons must be so deep, And again, going back to that's why I love my friend so much. She actually was concerned about me after that. Yeah. She was just like, Dude, she's like, I guess I was yelling at her too. And
Yeah.
I love her. Like I have never been mad at her.
Yeah,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
sure none of it made sense. You were
Yeah.
just projecting probably things that you had
Everything.
inside of you. You're like, I need
Just-
to get out some anger and sadness.
Dude, I guess I let it out. You know,
Yeah.
my wrist feels sprained and I need to go to the doctor because like it really, really hurts.
You want to take a boxing class with me? I actually found one. Remember we were talking about it
A
because I
boxing
wanted
class?
to get out some anger. Yeah.
Really? I mean, I probably need to because I'm
Okay,
already
I think I'm
boxing
going to
other
take one
people.
this week, but let's take one again when you get back
When
from
I get back from
yeah.
Dominican. Yeah, yes, I'm
There's one in
down.
the OC.
What was I gonna say? Well, long story short, he's still talking to me, but it's just mad awkward. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I know that he's never experienced something like that, but he's trying to understand me. Like I think he now that his anger is gone, he's understanding that I've gone through some shit.
Yeah.
But it's just mad awkward now. Like I just feel like our relationship is just
On the fence.
on the fence, and it really sucks because we're not together right now, but we basically are together because we talk every night.
You're working things out,
Yeah,
but
we're
you
working
are
things out.
together.
Yeah, and it's like we're going on a vacation together that was been planned for months, and it's just like how is it going to be? And like he doesn't want me to drink on vacation, which is understandable.
Well,
but
you know what I think you should use this vacation as? I definitely think you should have fun. But now that you're saying it back to me, I think you should use this vacation as like, you know how they say
Yeah.
not just figuring out like if this person still wants to be with me, but do I still want to
Wanna
be with this person?
Yeah.
So kind of like instead of like being like trying to like please him or figure out that, like I feel like you should use this vacation, spend some real time with him and figure out how do I feel about this person?
Yeah, you're right.
Like away from all of our shit. Like, how do I feel about this person?
Am I just like staying with him because I'm going through trauma?
Yeah.
Or am I like really into him? Yeah, because
Yeah.
I think I'm on the verge. Like I definitely care about him and I love him. And I think he's a great guy. But he might not be the one for me, if that makes sense. But I think I'm like terrified about it because it's like I have to start over.
Because then, yeah,
I have to be
girl,
alone.
same.
Yeah, I have to be by
Same.
myself.
I'll
with
be
my
right there
trauma.
with you, though. I'll be right there with you with our trauma bags.
Dude, I'm telling you. But he is there for me, but it's just like I've also put him through stuff too. I can't just like take the blame and just be like,
Yeah.
it's all him.
Don't
You
be
know?
afraid of being alone, though. Being alone is a beautiful challenge. Like, it's like
Yeah.
what he said in the book. Like, it almost made me feel like excited to be like, oh, I can't wait to see who I am when I get through this, even though it sucks,
Yeah.
because like it makes you such a better person. It's
No,
like, oh, I'm
100%.
about to go to war and come out. But then you're just like, all right, like challenge accepted. Like, let's see. It'll just make you such a better. You'll be set for life once you
I
learn how to
know.
master that.
I know. Well, I used to be. I mean, before him, I wasn't in a relationship. For a
Yeah,
while.
you were alone.
Yeah, I
But
was
I'm-
alone. But I mean, I was talking to
Yeah.
guys, but like, you know, I wasn't really serious about that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but I mean, I was a pimp before. I could be one again, but I was really trying to be a good girl. Like, you know, not that I was a bad girl, but I was really trying to be a one-man girl, like
A wifey.
You know, a wifey, get my shit together, put my pimp towel down, but you know, I don't know. I might have to pick it back up, but no, just kidding. But I don't know. I think this is the vacation is going to be make or break. Honestly.
I think it'll be like a good thing either way. Cause then you'll probably get some answers.
Yeah. But that's the trauma, you guys. That's what we've been going through. We're human.
And Joty and me have been going through the pitfalls of life.
Dude, every month I feel like there's something that just smacks me like
Yeah.
just like, you know, in the face. Well, but it's fine. But I'm sure that a lot of you guys are going through the same or worse or nothing at all. But
whatever you're going through, we're all going through things. And feelings are all temporary.
yeah,
They are all temporary. Like if you're down, it'll be up soon again. If you're up,
Exactly.
it'll be, you know, like it's up and down.
Exactly. And you never know what people are going through, you guys. So be nice to them. Like
I heard this quote and it was like, so happiness and like nobody should strive for happiness because happiness is fleeting. What you should strive for is peace because you could have peace when you're sad and when you're happy. So it's like everybody should seek to maintain a level of peace instead of happiness. And I thought that was beautiful.
Always says that. Like now that like I've been kind of picking at him a little bit. I think he's done some reading or something because he's been telling me
He's like, let me read up how to help this girl.
I know he was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna engage in this. He's like, I just want to be at peace. And when somebody says that to you, like, what do you say to that? Like, you're not gonna be like, fuck you. You're like, oh, okay, well,
yeah,
that's fine. I would like you to be at peace too,
Yeah.
So he actually said that to me. He's like, I just want to be at peace. That's all he said. And I was like, okay, I can respect that. You know, but peace, guys. Being at peace is important. I hope you guys out there are having a lot of peace.
I know. I hope hearing us go through these little pitfalls is helping you in some way, hopefully.
And listen to Jay Shetty. Apparently Neha is listening.
I'm I'm trying to be like, I'm not going through heartbreak for nothing. I'm like,
That's
what?
true.
This is gonna make me, this better level me up to a level like 10.5.
It is. You already were like, I always admired that about you, like your positivity and like your spirituality. So I really think that this is going to be Neha 2.0.
Oh, 2.0. I like that.
Neha
Neha
2.0.
2.0.
Yes, you got this, girl. And I don't know what's going to happen with me, but to be continued.
And Joty 2.0.
I hope so, because I was being Joty fucking level 65 like last week, like KO. Like,
but you know what? Healing isn't linear. Like you're gonna have days where you're worse than you were before, and days where you're better.
I've been like that. It's really annoying.
That's how it is.
I was being so good like a couple weeks ago, and then he threw my like vibe off by like questioning me about thinking I was like lying or about something.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like threw me off my wave. You know what I'm trying to say? And then I was like, what the, like, I like lost it. I'm like, I am doing everything right. Like, what is
okay?
Going
see,
on?
So that's probably what set it off. Is just like you were already at a breaking point, and he pushed the button.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. And
you just unleashed everything you were holding in.
That wasn't just him. That was everything. Right?
Yeah.
And he had to be the guy,
the punching bag.
But like, I mean, at least he's still talking to me. Poor guy. Like, you know, he loves me, and that's important. But sometimes that's not everything.
Okay, but Olivia Rodrigo's album is amazing.
Okay,
it's like the the breakup album of the century, and the song Traitor and Enough for You are like the story of my life. She literally in Traitor is like, you were talking to another girl while we were together and you said it was nothing and I believed you, and then you went with her and she was like, and you didn't cheat, but you definitely were a traitor.
Maybe we'll play these songs at the end of the show for everyone to listen to.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we'll do that. All right, guys. Well, this is Neha's heartbreak session, and this is my explosive alcoholic episode.
The next episode will be, we're gonna be like, oh my god, we're on top of the world. Like,
great. I'm sober for exactly 14 days.
We're both gonna be on top of the world, and it'll be great. This is just part of life.
It's a part of life, and we want to share it with you guys because you guys are our friends, and right now we need. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
No, we just want, we keep it real with you guys. We keep it 100.
Yeah, and I contemplated sharing this because I was like, I don't know if I want to give more power to it or anything. But it's not. I'm like someone else. Yeah, I'm already like healing. It's just that and it's not taking up that much space in my life. I just wanted to share because heartbreak is something we all go through, and it's really tough, and we should talk about it more.
Heartbreak is tough, you guys. So is blacking out and not knowing that you cussed your boyfriend out. So just to leave it at that, you guys, pray for us, and we will talk to you. Is this episode gonna be next week? This week?
Yeah, next week. So then we'll have another episode for you next week.
Yeah, we'll have an episode for you next week when I come back from Dominican Republic. So
yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you again. I am your host, Joty K.
I'm Neha. Follow us on Brown Queens Pod Instagram. DM us questions. brownqueenspod@gmail.com.
Send us prayers.